One of these piles that I'll remind people exists. Good thing you're here. Why are we getting started? That's why I'm out there. Oh.
Such a nice round. Something to think about. That was nice about you. That's why it's nice about you. 3/3.
What's stinking? We have a little stuff. And that's stretching it. The baby squeezed all the way back to 8.
It isn't you.
You know I owe you a recipe to keep working on my
That's where I've been mixing this up. Okay. It's like the so this is
it's all variety. This is our early patch. This is kind of the end of the early patch.
that's why I keep stuff around.
Yeah.
I do it here. What's
And he brought some cheese, and I brought cheese back. Well, I got
I don't think
Well, good morning. Good morning. I'm Stephanie Fox, and I serve on your board of directors. Now, whether this is your first time or your 1000th time that you've been here, we're glad to have you with us today. Now, our welcome includes everyone here in this room and our folks online. So turn to the camera and wave to our online folks. Good morning, online folks. Now, the best way for newcomers to get more information is to sign our virtual guest book, either the QR code on your brochure or out at the welcome table in the far side room. Now, we are a multi-generational congregation. All ages are welcome all the time. That means our spaces, including this one, may be a little noisier than we expect once in a time. It's all part of our vital and energetic community. If the little ones need a little space to wiggle and move about, there's also a nursery available outside the fireside room. Now, online folks, we hope you'll join our Zoom coffee hour after the service. Look for a link in the chat, and it's also on our website. On site, we'll have coffee and conversation after the service, and remember, we also have a pre-service coffee hour every week at 10 o'clock. And announcements, I don't think we have any, or do we?
Announcements.
Okay.
I have announcements. Thank you, Stephanie. 3, Sam Ossie says he really doesn't want to be involved with crass commercial announcements, but he does have a truckload of corn to give away. I would say that is your beneficence, and we're grateful. We are grateful for that. Downstairs by the entrance on the ground floor. After the service today and on the second Sunday of each month, I do a little brief Meet the Minister moment. So if you're new and would like to have a little conversation, you are welcome to join me, and that repeats on the second Sunday of each month. Third, and probably most important, is our Amos announcement. Did you see the Burma Shave signs outside? That's special thanks to Jenny and Stu Huntington, who put those up, making this a fun invitation. So we are honored to have Alyssa Dooling with us today. Alyssa, would you stand up, please? Thank you. Alyssa is an organizer with Amos. You come from Madrid, and so we are grateful to have you here with us. And we have a table outside that's staffed by members of our team that will help you get registered for the big event on August the 30th at 3 o'clock in Clive. Yay! Who else has registered? That's good. That's encouraging. When I put it next week, you'll have more of you with your hands up. So thank you, Alyssa, for being here with us, and you're here to answer any questions afterwards about what's going to go on that day. Those are my 3 announcements.
Again, welcome and thanks for being here today.
There I am, okay. Ooh. If I were to have a totem animal, it would be a manatee. I go down to Florida every so often, and whenever I can, I fall off my kayak and swim with them, and they're totally zen, more than I ever hoped to be. We're kind of polar opposites. I think that's what draws us together. But I think this might be the only first-person manatee song that I'm aware of. I wrote this a while back, so. It's a warm summer day. I'm drifting away, pushed by the tides, pulled by the ocean streams, bobbing and floating under the surface. I float where the sea carries me. Well, I am a manatee. I swim in warm water, paddle through waves, I tumble through hurricanes. I follow the coastline for thousands of miles till the time comes for me to go home. And all I am is all I am, is all I am, is all I am. All I am is all I am, is all I am, is all I am. When the ocean turns cold, I swim near the shore. I paddle up rivers where the warm water flows, to be with the others, with sisters and brothers, and huddle in springs where all manatees go. Sometimes bobbing next to me are new baby manatees. They float with their mothers who feed them all day. Someday, wait and see, they'll grow up to look just like me and learn to do all that I do, like eating and swimming and drifting and rolling and gliding for days where the warm rivers bend, floating and sinking and breathing and blowing. Waves push us end over end. And all we know is all we know is all we know is all we know. Yeah, all we know is all we know is all we know is all we know. Now when I'm an old manatee, I'll probably drift out to sea. I'll go where old manatees go, dreaming soft dreams through a deep world of blues and greens. I'll know what old manatees know. And where I go is where I go, is where I go, is where I go. Yeah, where I'll go is where I go, is where I'll go, is where I'll go. And all I am is all I am, is all I am, is all I am. Yeah, all I am is all I am, is all I am, is all I am.
Thank you so much, Reggie, for that beginning. Good morning. It's wonderful to be gathered with you here today. We come into this space this morning with these words from Reverend Kelli. Throughout the week, we go our ways, working and resting, cooking and eating, shopping and gardening and reading, exercising and playing, alone or together. Each of us the hero in our own stories. This morning, our stories converge here as individuals bringing some measure of experience, questions, joy, sorrows, and a desire to be connected. Here, I becomes we. May our stories blend and weave, and may we be changed by this community of goodwill. Come, let us gather in fellowship. Please join me now in singing our chalice lighting words. We hallow this time together by kindling the lamp of our heritage. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing our opening song, Morning Has Come. If you like reading music, there are some green hymnals at the ends of the rows. Nod to somebody that can pass it down.
Well, we have a little time for all ages today about our summer reading. Does anybody want to come up and talk about summer reading? Thank you, Clara. Thank you. That's how I feel about summer reading. You too, Morella. Books. Books. Come on, Milo. Come on. Come on. We'll talk about summer reading. I don't know why summer reading feels different from reading in the rest of the year. Does it feel that way to you? Yes? Oh, you're reading too. Yeah. Did you read something this summer that you want to tell us about that was memorable, good or not good? Something you read, you were like, nah. Or something you read that was really good? Yeah.
It's a series by Mercedes Lackey. I only remember one title of it, but
Here, I'm going to give you the microphone.
Heralds of Valdemar.
Heralds of Valdemar.
Summer, but it's still good book.
So it's part of a series by Mercedes Lackey. And is the whole series the Heralds?
That's one of the mini series.
Okay, one of the many series. Okay. This is a thing now.
There's like 30 books in it, and there's several series involved, so she's
Oh, okay. Like, all right. So if you like this writer, Mercedes Lackey, gives you lots of choices and lots of storylines to follow. And some better than others, maybe? They're all really good. All right, that is super cool. I think it's fun when you get into a writer or into their storyline, and we have lots of opportunities for that now. How about you, Morella? Did you read anything that you thought was special one way or the other?
Anne, an adaptation of Anne of Green Gables.
And who wrote it?
I can't remember.
What'd you like about it?
Well, it's a graphic novel about. It's an adaptation of a novel into a graphic novel.
Tell me what you like about graphic novels.
They're easier to read
Okay.
because they have pictures that go along with the words, and I get to see what the characters look like.
Yeah. I think graphic novels are so cool. In my day, we called them comic books, but they're different. A graphic novel is not a comic book. It is a different way to tell a story where you're using both words and visuals, right? And so two artists are really, or maybe one artist is really working together to say, what are we seeing and what are we reading and how does that tell the story? I think graphic novels are super cool. Yeah. We've got, Milo, did you read anything that you want to share about?
I read the Sunbearer Trials and the sequel, Celestial Monsters, this summer. Read the first book at camp, so that was a really cool experience.
What did you like about it?
It's a book about the main characters kind of fighting to break out of the constraints put on them by their society, which I thought was really interesting.
Wow. Such a great story, breaking out of the constraints of society. And you can think of books throughout time, from historical, from sort of classic fiction, literature and fiction up until the modern age, of people who are finding themselves. And we find ourselves as a part of that. We have some very young ones up here, and I expect that people read to you. Have you heard this saying that for the first part of your reading life, you're learning to read, and then you're reading to learn? And I love that idea of where our young ones are in learning to read, and soon they'll be reading to learn. And also stretching our bodies in all the ways that we can, because we've got that going up here too. So I invite you to keep reading, learning to read, and then reading to learn, and keep, please, sharing with us what you are reading, whether it's summer reading or all throughout the year. We're a congregation of readers, I think. All right. That's it for today. I welcome you to go back to your seat or to your people, or stay here if you want. Okay. Do you want to go back to? There you go. Here comes Mom. All right. Could use a little traveling music here, but that's okay. We can talk about that during the I'm just a manatee. I am what I am.
Remember that.
It is our pleasure and honor each time we gather to take a collection, keep half of it here, and send half of it out the door to do good work in our community, either in Ames, in broader Iowa, or in the nation. We align with organizations that share our values, and we amplify our treasure that we collect by sending it out into the world. It's one of our fundamental values of generosity. All throughout the month of August, we are donating to Home Allies, which is an organization in Ames that works on affordable housing. And they primarily assist people below 50% of the average median income in Story County. And they work with people whose life histories make it difficult for them to find rental property. They have this housing first philosophy. Let's get people in stable, long-term housing and then help them with the catastrophic life situations which are preventing them from growing and experiencing their fullness in life. So it's an honor to be able to do that, and we'll continue to do so. At the UU Fellowship of Ames, we always pass the baskets on Sunday. You're welcome to give that way. You can give online at our website today or any day. And please know that if you are a guest here, that your presence is gift enough. Eddie?
I started with not being too involved, so that leave that. We're in two. Am I turned on? Maybe that's the wrong way to phrase it. I guess only I can answer that. This is a pre-Joy and Sorrow. At the same time, I finished a song over the last week. Lost a sister last week, my sister Tammy, Florida girl. And the song isn't perfect, partly because she was certainly not perfect, and I loved her for that. So, sort of a eulogy, sort of not. Now we all have roads that we travel, but can't see what's up ahead. Can't see beyond the hills or what's around the bend. But though the road goes on forever, who knows where we might stray? And maybe we could take a couple stops along the way. She took her last breath on this earth, finally closed her eyes. But she left not ready to give it up. She left wanting one last bike ride. And if there's something going on past this world, and if no life is ever done, she might still be rolling out there somewhere, out on one more run. Out perched on top of some heavenly Harley, rolling in the summer night, cruising down some steamy, salty coast and leaning left and leaning right, stopping at celestial dive bars, meeting with long-lost friends, laughing over beer and pretzels on a ride that never ends. Now the band is playing the greatest hits of 1974. Peanuts all over the table, shells all over the floor. She'll be laughing louder than the band until she's on her way again, and waiting for us all left behind to catch up with her someday. And life is complicated, something everybody knows. Why, it's just chock full of pain and pleasures, endless highs and lows. And no one has any answers, really, to life's great travails. But if she found a way, and if we keep on rolling, I wish y'all happy trails. I perched on some heavenly Harley, rolling into summer nights, cruising down some steamy, salty coast, leaning left, leaning right, stopping at some celestial dive bars and meeting with a long-lost friend, laughing over beer and pretzels on a ride that never ends. Laughing over beer and pretzels on a ride that never ends.
Reggie, say your sister's name for us.
Tammy.
Tammy. When we gathered, we practiced this sense of bringing our joys and sorrows together. Our joys are multiplied, our sorrows, our burdens are lifted, and sometimes they're the same thing. Sometimes they're the same thing. We get to know each other's stories. We lift up into space those stories that are particularly meaningful to us, people who have touched us. We bring our pain at what happens in the wider world to this moment we share together. Those things that we hold on our own when we're reading the news on our phone or on our computer or in the newspaper, how quaint. When we hear the news of the world, we hold it on our own. Maybe we say it to our partner, maybe we say it to a friend, but we come here and we bring all of that together so that we can hold it together. We can practice this moment of opening our hearts, of reaching out. Reggie, our hearts are with you and with Barb as you navigate the days after Tammy's loss. We hold our hearts with Sue Jarnigan, who has received a diagnosis of colorectal cancer. And so, Sue, you're going through the process to figure out what the next treatments are and what's the next right thing for you to do. Our hearts are with you and Rick as you navigate these tender days. Amy, you're here. We mentioned the loss of your dad last week. We're glad to see you with us. All of those things that we hold close and the joys that we hold close, that we know are a part of this community together. Let's take a few moments of quiet to lift into this shared space. And for you online, please say it out loud in your space and know that we share this space with you. Names of individuals or groups that you're particularly holding on your hearts today.
Jack. Bill, fine. Victims all
Roger Berger, Dustin Berger. Custody.
Trans folks, queer folks. For all that is spoken and all that is unspoken, we practice opening this muscle of our hearts, knowing that we dare not try to hold all the pain and joy of the world alone. We can only do this as we hold it together. Let's sing Meditation on Breathing. We'll sing it 3 times.
Our reading this morning is the entry on Sonder from the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows by John Koenig. Sonder, the awareness that everyone has a story. You are the main character, the protagonist, the star at the center of your own unfolding story. You are surrounded by a supporting cast, friends and family hanging in your immediate orbit. Scattered a little further out, a network of acquaintances who drift in and out of contact over the years. But there in the background, faint and out of focus, are the extras. The random passerby, each living a life as vivid and complex as your own. They carry on invisibly around you, bearing the accumulated weight of their ambitions, friends, routines, mistakes, worries, triumphs, and inherited craziness. When your life moves to the next scene, theirs flickers in place, wrapped in a cloud of backstory and inside jokes and characters strung together with countless other stories you'll never be able to see, that you'll never know exist, in which you might only appear once, an extra sipping coffee in the background, as a blur of traffic passing on the highway, as a lighted window at dusk.
This summer, 2 stories are rattling around in my head and in my dreams. The central character of each story is a returning soldier from war, scarred by the violence and devastation that they've witnessed, wrestling with their own guilt and understanding that their absence, physical and psychological, has left the known world out of balance. One, of course, is Christopher Nolan's adaptation of The Odyssey, the much ballyhooed IMAX version of this epic poem by Homer, starring Matt Damon, stunningly filmed. How many of you have seen The Odyssey? It's good. You get your money's worth. It's 3 hours. You can go through that box of popcorn get a small drink, I'm telling you. It's really, I love the movies. It's what going to the movies is about. The other story is from the novel Ceremony by Leslie Marmon Silko, published in 1977. It starts like this. Tsitsinako, or thought woman, is sitting in her room, and whatever she thinks about appears. She thought of her sisters, Nautsatii and Itatsatii, the corn mothers, and together they created the universe, this world and the 4 worlds below. She is sitting in her room thinking of a story now. I'm telling you the story she is thinking. This comes from Navajo writer Leslie Marmon Silko. This 1977 novel, Ceremony, is widely credited as one of the most profound and moving works of Native American literature. I knew nothing about Ceremony, but when I was prepping for my trip to New Mexico this summer, I wanted a novel of place. This is something I like to do. I want to read a book about the place that I'm going to so I can kind of get the feeling of it before I go. So I went to Birch Bark Books in Minneapolis, owned by the writer Louise Erdrich, and I asked the bookseller there to, recommend something, and she recommended Ceremony. It's the story of Teo, a mixed race World War II veteran returning to the Laguna Pueblo in New Mexico, west of Albuquerque. And like the Odyssey, the narrative flows back and forth in time, engaging memory and dreams and longing and the gods, the spirits, prophecy and homecoming, for better or worse. It is a confusing novel. I finished it a couple of nights ago, about 4 a.m. I could not sleep, and finally, I'm just in the desert with Teo. Can't we get home? Are you going to die on the way? What's going to happen? And I finished it at 4 a.m, and I'm still not exactly sure what happened. And I found it frustrating, and I can't wait to read it again. This book has got a little bit of a hold on me. I didn't know until yesterday, really, that these 2 stories are so similar. The Odyssey and Odysseus returning from the Trojan War. And he can't get home, and he's lugging his guilt around all over the sea. And Teo is lugging his guilt around all over the desert. These 2 stories keep reminding me that stories may be similar, but the way we tell them and what comes up out of them have different resonances for us. And when we see a story that we think we know, like the Odyssey, for example, you think you know that, but you see it anew because it's somebody else's interpretation. There's been much made about the Odyssey not being true to the story, as if someone really owns a legend. Homer got to have his say of the legend, and people have forever after been telling the story in different ways. So Sir Christopher Nolan, got to interpret it with Matt Damon, persistent Matt Damon, as the character. I said to my mom, he was the most persistent date I'd ever had. But imagine if that movie were directed by Martin Scorsese or Greta Gerwig or Ryan Coogler. What if the title role had been played by Matthew McConaughey or Samuel L. Jackson or Helen Mirren or Ralph Fiennes, as he portrays it in another movie of the Odyssey called The Return? I could not finish slogging my way through that film. Maybe I will. these stories that live in us. We know something about the rhythm of a story of return. Maybe we have had our own story of return to self after overcoming some of our own odds. Maybe we had to fight our way back to relationship. Maybe we left. Maybe somebody else left, and we were the one who received them home. To me, that's one of the great values of literature and stories and movies, is how do they speak to the stories of our own heart? Who else is in the story that has something to say to us? Perhaps Penelope. Perhaps we identify with Telemachus or Antinous. Perhaps we most identify with one of these other characters. Which one? In a really good story, like the Odyssey, you may be able to enter it from any one of these character points. So I got to thinking a bit about point of view after I went to an independent bookstore. So one of the ways that we and our family, especially with my daughter, plan our trips is where's the independent bookstore in town? What are we going to do? So on the way back from New Mexico, I had my first night in Denver. I booked my hotel near the IMAX theater so that Matt Damon and I could have a date. That was a long day, let me tell you. And the next morning, filled with the images of the Odyssey, I went to the Tattered Cover bookstore. Do you know the Tattered Cover in Denver? Have you been there? It's just a truly excellent independent bookstore. They've got a couple of locations now. And they had, as bookstores will do and libraries will do, they had a display of both the Odyssey and books related to the Odyssey. You could indulge your need to go further. And so I picked up, on a whim, Margaret Atwood's The Penelopiad. Margaret Atwood, bless her, wrote this book from Penelope's perspective. She has had it with all the story of Odysseus. Let me tell you what really happened. And so nowadays you might call it fan fiction, right? But she tells this story, a very different story. The bones are the same, and you hit the high points that are in her story. But it is completely different. And it made me think how you enter stories, how writers invite us into stories from different perspectives. I happen to love this method. There are several books that kind of come in this vein. You may know others. Penelopiad, The Red Tent by Anita Diamant, which takes a sort of obscure passage in the Older Testament and tells the backstory there. The Book of Longings by Sue Monk Kidd tells the story of the wife of Jesus. Oh, that is a beautiful, beautiful story. Wicked by Gregory Maguire, right? Takes the Wizard of Oz story and blows it open. Lots of stories this way. It's sometimes called the Rashomon treatment, right? From the 1950s Japanese movie where it was a thriller and there was a samurai who was killed in the forest, and all these different people tell the story from different points of view. This idea that each of us has a different interpretation, view, narrative of what happened. Today is National Booklovers Day. And so I've got books all over the place up here, right? But we never know. Well, let me leave these books for a minute. I think we don't, as Lin-Manuel Miranda told us, let me tell you what I wish I'd known when I was young and dreamed of glory. You have no control. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story? We can know something about the story of George Washington, but there are a lot of ways to interpret that complicated man. We can know a lot of things about any one of our stories, but our complexities allow it to be open to interpretation. We know something about Tammy now that we didn't know before, but that's from your point of view. Someone else would write a different song, right? How lovely, how lovely. I think about our own stories. We have a narrative about who we are as a fellowship, right? Founded in 1946, the third fellowship in the country that was in the fellowship movement of Unitarian Universalism, physics professors and other professors from the university, other people from the university, lay-led for the first several years in the 80s, hired professional ministry, now professional ministry, strong congregation, right? That's how I tell our story to anyone who will listen. I love to tell our story. But there are other parts of our story, difficulties, the time when there was only $50 left, and would they close the fellowship or would they invest it in a building fund? That's a great story. That's a great legend. And here we are today. But there are other moments where people may have gotten crossways or came and felt like they invested but didn't get what they needed here, or left mad, or left town, or raised their children and were very involved, and when the children grew up, they kind of moved away. Those are all the threads in our story too. And the more we hold them and the more we lift them up and share with each other, the more we see how multifaceted and multi-layered our story is. I think that's beautiful. I think that's beautiful. So I want to say a few things about how we lift up reading here. Reading is not the only way that we share stories, share what we know, but we are a very literate congregation. I think we're outliers. Last month, the Atlantic had an article about the death of the reading generation, the death of reading, that like a third of people in the country had read a book in the last year. I know. I'm moving the curve. Praise for independent booksellers and for great libraries and that sort of thing. So I want to say a couple of things. We have an excellent library here at the fellowship, the Dustin Berger Memorial Library, just out here and down little half flight of stairs. And on the fourth Sunday of each month, there's kind of an open book talk. It's a little bit of a book club where you come and talk about what you've read, right? Right after the service. And so anyone is invited to come, and if you've read something really good or not good, you can come and share about it with other bookish people. Also, each month for our Soul Matters theme, the library pulls together some books that are related to that theme. So in September, our theme will be belonging. So you'll have some books, both adult type and kid type books related to belonging. So our library team is active and engaged in what we're doing here. Check out the library if you haven't. Starting in October, you don't have to remember any of this because it's going to be in next week's newsletter, but I've put a couple of copies of this up here. Starting in October, on the third Sunday of each month, in the afternoon, I'm going to host a book club. I'm calling it Rev Kelly's Book Club because I'm choosing all the books. But we could use a better name if anybody's got a clever name. So I want to tell you a little bit about what we're going to read. In October, we're going to read One Day Everyone Will Have Been Against This. Omar El-Akkad. How many of you have read this or know of this book? So powerful, this book. And we'll be close to the anniversary of the massacre in Israel, but this is a different point of view. It is raw and vulnerable. Mr. El-Akkad issues a stark critique of Western liberalism through the eyes of the genocide in Gaza. Boy, it pulled me up short. So I'm very eager to talk with others and see what you heard about that. In December, we'll read Love at the Center, edited by the Reverend Dr. Sophia Bettencourt, the president of the UUA. This is the UUA's common read this year, and it's a collection of essays by clergy, religious educators, and lay people about the theology of love at the center. What do we mean by love at the center? That is easy to say and a little hard for many of us to get our hands around. So we'll read these essays. In February, we will read Jesus and John Wayne, How White Evangelicals Corrupted a Faith and Fractured a Nation. Have any of you read this? It is fascinating and troubling. A 75-year kind of history and analysis of how the white evangelicalism had a goal to replace the Jesus of the Gospels with one of rugged masculinity that leads American Christian nationalism. It's really good and well-researched. And then in April, this is the 10th year anniversary of Emergent Strategy by Adrienne Marie Brown. And I want to go back to this book about shaping change in a changing world and how it continues to inspire and challenge us to new ways of engagement. So 4 books that I love. I hope you'll love them too. And maybe if we do this again, we'll be a little more ecumenical in who gets to decide what books we're reading. But for now, my book club, I'm going to leave these up here. If you want to take a photo of them and see what they are, there's a little piece of paper, but again, it'll all be in the Friday email. Facts are important. We believe in and we love facts. We love facts and figures and data. We believe I've said it over and over again, we believe in the scientific method, the process of getting to understanding of truth. Those are important. And stories are sticky. Stories, whether they're human stories or stories of manatees, are sticky. They stick with us. One of the things that we'll hear at the Amos event on August 30th are stories of people who are affected by the loss in funding for public school, who are affected by water quality, or the lack of emergency services, or the need for help for vulnerable seniors, stories about people who are affected by immigration. We're going to hear stories, and we're going to tell those stories to the political leaders who have gathered in the room, so that those stories will be sticky for them too. That's the goal, is for our stories to be sticky. I invite you this week to recognize how our stories are sticky with each other. How what I know about Sam and his cornfield, or what I know about Bob and his artwork, or what I know about that Terry bakes those delicious treats late at night. Right? I know this story about you. So when I eat those delicious treats, I'm thinking about what you were thinking about late at night when you were baking them. Our stories make us sticky with each other. That's what we want, is stickiness here with each other, that we hold them together. Keep reading stories, keep telling stories, keep being stuck together by stories. This song we're going to sing now is Wo Ya Ya. It's a little bit complicated. We don't care if it's a train wreck. Wo Ya Ya means we are going on a journey in a Ghanaian language. You may be familiar with this from the recording of Sweet Honey in the Rock or other ways, but let's sing together, Wo Ya Ya.
Again, if you want some music, there are books at the end of each row, so ask your neighbor to pass them down and follow along. But please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know we live, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Where we are, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going, but we know we live. And we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah, 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 oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh yeah,
Please join me in saying together these words to extinguish our chalice today, both the chalice here and any chalice you've lit at home. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
As always, we end our service with deep gratitude for our musicians, for Peggy, for Reggie, and for stepping in at the last minute. Elijah, thank you so much. This morning we were going to do a song, and I saw Elijah, and I was like, oh, let's add that. Thank you. Thanks for going along with it. For Madison Mayfield, of course, and always. For our tech team, Melissa Neeson and Mary Richards. For our facilitators, Amy Slagle and Karen Bates. For our greeters and ushers and coffee servers and treat bringers and cleanup crew, and always to Amanda McIntosh, our coordinator of membership services, who helps all those things on Sunday morning run so smoothly. Thank you very much. It takes a lot of us to make Sunday happen, and there is a place for you in the helping make Sunday happen, in the seats and doing all the other things. Online folks, we're so grateful to have had you today. Each of us has a story, and we are a character in someone else's story. May we be a good character in someone else's story. May we be there for good. Let's stay seated as Reggie plays a last song for us, and then we'll go in peace.
I don't know the word to sing or not. I'm singing myself.